The presence. The presence. The presence. The presence is here. The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. The presence is here. I will meet you in grace. The presence is here. The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. I will meet you in grace.
All right, let's stand and sing our first song, I Love My Life.
All right. I love my life. And I want to tell you, I love it quickly. I love my life and the way it goes, the way it moves and the way it flows. I love my life, it fills my plate. The best is coming and I just can't wait. The best is coming and I just can't wait. I love my life and the way I feel, the way it's true and the way it's real. I love my life, life is great. The best is coming and I just can't wait. The best is coming and I just can't wait. I love my life and my point of view, my time with me and my time with you. I love my life, I'm proud to stay. The best is coming and I just can't wait. The best is coming and I just can't wait. I love my life, yeah, it's a life I chose. My spiritual awakening just grows and grows. I love my life, I'll tell you straight. The best is coming and I just can't wait. The best is coming and I just can't wait. I love is coming and I just can't wait. The best is coming and I just can't wait. The best is coming and I just can't wait. The best is coming and I just can't wait.
All right. Okay, beloveds, while you're on, is there one more? Oh. Okay.
Yes, please.
All right.
Check it out. Thank you for this sun, Spirit. Thank you for this sun. Thank you for this sun, Spirit. Thank you for this sun. This welcome, this radiant, this beautiful sun. This welcome, this radiant, this beautiful sun. Oh, yeah, yeah. I thank you for the these clouds, Spirit, thank you for these clouds. Thank you for these clouds, Spirit, thank you for these clouds. These welcome, these billowy, these beautiful clouds. These welcome, these billowy, these beautiful clouds. I thank you. Thank you for this rain, Spirit, thank you for this rain. Thank you for this rain, Spirit, thank you for this rain. This welcome, this plentiful, this beautiful rain. This welcome, this plentiful, this beautiful rain. Oh yeah, like you really mean it. Thank you for this rain, Spirit, thank you for this rain. This rain, thank you for this rain, Spirit, thank you for this rain. This welcome, this plentiful, this beautiful rain. This welcome, this plentiful, this beautiful rain. Thank you, Spirit.
Woo! Beautiful. Okay, beloveds, while you're on your feet, please turn to one another and offer the Namaste greeting. Namaste. Namaste, Zoomers. Welcome. Namaste, Brian. Namaste, Travis. Yes, namaste, everyone. All right. Okay, good morning. My name is Reverend Elizabeth Rowley Hogue, and I'm the spiritual director and senior minister here. If you're just tuning in on Zoom, welcome. Welcome to the Awakening Ways spiritual community, where all that we ask is that you remain open to the possibility of awakening to the loving heart, the inspired mind, and the sacred soul present in every life. We are an independent New Thought community, and we follow the teachings of Ernest Holmes. Welcome home. We've been waiting for you. So we have an affirmation for today, and I invite you to please repeat after me. I am open.
I am open.
I am coachable.
I am coachable.
I am ready to receive. I say yes to my good.
I say yes to my good.
I'm a mighty money magnet.
I'm a mighty money magnet.
I'm a mighty money magnet. I'm a mighty money magnet. And so it is. All right. Now our practitioner of the day, Kristen, will come up and do our Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes reading and invocation.
Oh, it's so good to see everybody. Woo! Yay. So, Oh, thank you, I know. Anyway, we are a community of prayer, and I've been so grateful for everyone's prayers. Look at me walk up here without a crutch. We have multiple ways for you to access these fabulous prayers. There are 14 now in our prayer group, in our mighty soul support team. And over on the table, there are the forms to fill out, and you can stick that in there, and we will pray with and for you for the entire week. If you need more of a longer session, where you really want to delve into some of those old false beliefs that may be hanging around, you can have a session with any of the ministers or practitioners, and our cards are over there. And directly after the service, I will hobble on over out to the lobby and be available for what we call a 3-minute miracle. Of course, you may want to have birthday cupcakes first, but I'll be there. Okay, so. Oh, and email, thank you, at awakeningways@thegrid.net. And just put prayer request in the subject line, and we will get that out. So I wrote out my Ernest Holmes quote on my iPad, and the printer is downstairs, and I wasn't quite sure about the font size, so I think I'll be able to see it. Complete prosperity is mine. Good is forever flowing, eternally manifesting itself to me. My good flows to me from every source because I recognize all sources as divine. My hands open to receive and remain open that they may again give out and thus multiply the divine gifts. And if you're comfortable to close your eyes, please do so at this time. Maybe take a couple deep healing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. We know there's only one power in the universe and in our lives, and that's God, the good, the divine spirit, whatever you're comfortable with. And today that spirit is in me and in all of us. And I declare that today is just filled with magical possibilities of the healing rain, of the healing hugs, of the winks and the nods. So grateful that this community can gather together again in person on this beautiful lakeside place. I know my words to be true. I release them into the law, and together we all say, and so it is.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it all go. You've got to let it all go. This is what you have to say.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Wow. Woohoo. Thank you. We're only here for God, right? Good morning, beloveds. Welcome. Let me look at you. Let me see you. Hi. So good to see you. Hello. Hello, Zoomers. I don't see you, but you see me. Hello. Hi. Hi. Oh, thank you, beloveds. Thank you. Something woke you up this morning. I call it God. And stirred you, inspired you to come here, right? And so thank you for being here. I know that whatever that was that caused you to want to come here this morning, that intention is fulfilled beyond your wildest imagination. So welcome. Welcome home. Yeah. All right. So today we are going to be looking at abundance, a little more on abundance. This is week 3 in October, or week 4? Week 3. 3 or 4. 3 over here, 4 over here. So could someone check the calendar? Anyway, we're in a week of October. And in this week of October, we're looking at receiving and how receiving is as important as giving, right? Now, I know we are all so aligned and in tune with Spirit that we want to give, because as we align ourselves with Spirit, Spirit it gives of itself, right? And the love that we experience is an experience of the self-givingness of Spirit. So it's our nature to give. And then sometimes, though, when it's our turn to receive, we might sort of cut ourselves off and not receive that. And so we're going to look at getting into the receptive posture, that I like to call it, and being able to receive and the goodness of that. And so, and I'm talking about, we could go to compliments. When someone pays you a compliment, are you receptive and like, oh, thank you? Like, yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for affirming what I knew to be true, right? Or are you like, oh, no, you can't be talking about me, or this old thing, which is polite, right? But what would it be like to actually receive the good and feel that acknowledgement within you, right? From somebody who wants to give you a gift. Now, we give each other gifts all the time. The musicians have been giving us a gift all morning and always, right? And they bring themselves here and give us the gift of their music. And then you all are here and you're giving us the gift of your presence. And I receive that gift and I thank you. Like I get God bumps right now because thank you, right? And then whoever you're seated next to, there's a gift there. And all the interactions that we get to have today are a gift. Now, when people come to you to engage in a conversation, they're also giving a gift, and that is the gift of their presence. And now I know sometimes we don't want to receive the gift of some people, right? As you're laughing because I get that. So we're not talking about codependence, We can receive the gift and acknowledge the gift and then also have our boundaries because we're not codependent, okay? So the importance of receiving is the unfolding piece of today. Now, starting with compliments and then going, you can look at, if you're grocery shopping and somebody offers you help, would you like help to your car? Do they still do that? They used to do that, but ever since COVID, I don't know if they're doing that. But what's that? Just yesterday. Oh, good. Yeah. And so when somebody offers help, how do you respond, right? Oh, no, thanks. What if you were to just say, oh, sure, even if it's like a carton of milk, right? What if you were to just say, why, yes, thank you. I would love that. And then let yourself be helped, and then you can get into your car and feel that sort of joyful goodness of receiving, right? It feels good. It really feels good. And now another thing about being able to receive is really if somebody wants to give you something, a gift, not just of their presence, but maybe a gift like a financial gift, or maybe they want to give you a beautiful present. And I've heard it happen often where people are like, oh, I can't take this from you, you know. And so again, cutting ourselves off, right? So what would it be like if you were receptive to it and grateful? Like getting grateful, right? Oh, thank you. Thank you. And then, you know, if it's a gift that you don't really want, you can recycle it, right? Or re-gift. But it's the point of receiving. Now, you don't have to tell the person that you're doing that. It's that, right? It's that point of being receptive and letting someone give something to you. And so it's just fun. I can imagine the fun, good feeling that we have of getting into this exchange mentality, right? Giving, receiving, giving, receiving. And then you get to see more of circulation really happening in your life, right? Then you start giving, you're giving love, you're giving joy, you're giving your time, maybe you give gifts, and then you're receiving things in a different way, receiving phone calls and maybe receiving job offers or opportunities or whatever it is that you truly desire to experience in your life. You will begin to receive these things because you're in that flow. Are you with me? Yeah. All right. So I want to share a story because it's also about, getting into positions. So in this teaching, Ernest Holmes teaches how we don't have to make things happen, but we want to make things welcome in our lives. And I think that also sometimes we can get into this position where we think we have to make something happen. Has anyone ever been there? I got to do this, and I got to do it like this, right? And it's going to happen. Oh, we didn't practice that one, but we did good. Oh, man. So, you get in the flow, and then you sort of want to push it along. Like, I want it, Friday, not next Friday, this Friday, or I want it to be purple, or whatever, right? Yeah, I'm looking at you, Joy. Whatever that thing is, and then we try to start to make it happen. And it's kind of like you plant carrot seeds, and then you go over to the carrots like a week later, and you pull it and see if it's growing, and then it stops growing, right? Because you pulled it up. So we don't have to make things happen, but we do want to make things welcome. And as we make things welcome, we let Spirit, God, the divine source energy do the work. So we affirm and declare and decree what it is we want in our lives, and then we get in alignment with it, and we let the universe do the work. Like, we don't put our mail in the post box. Does anybody do that anymore? You put mail in the mailbox, right? And you expect the postal service in their little vehicle to come up and get it and to leave and deliver it. You don't wait for the post office guy to come and then get in your car and follow him to the post office. I'm going to make sure this happens. And then follow him all the way to another state, right? We don't do that. And so we tune in to these laws. We tune in and affirm, declare, and decree, and allow Spirit, the universe, to do the work. And so an illustration that I have of that is when I was a little girl, my parents wanted to teach me how to water ski. My dad had this awesome boat, and he called it Yellow Fever, and it was just amazing, right? It was a speedboat, and my mom and dad and brother would take turns skiing, and they were good. They were really good. And they would even do the single ski, I was like, whoa, there's a name for that, but I can't. Single ski, I guess. What's that? Slalom. So they would do that, and then they tried to teach me how to do it. So I would get out there, and I'm 7 years old, And then the boat would take off, and they didn't really give me much more instructions. I was just sort of back there behind the boat, and then they'd speed up, and then we'd get going really fast, but I wouldn't come up. I would go straight down into the water. And I was like, this is skiing? This doesn't feel like it. And so I remember I can still see how it looked from the light coming through the water. It was pretty scary. And then they'd come zooming, they'd stop, right, and let me pop up, and then come zooming back around. They were like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm trying to ski here. And so, all right, we'll try it again. Okay, so there we go again, get up, zoom, straight down, like I didn't let go of the rope. I missed the memo, let go of the rope if you go underwater. And so I think we had one more shot, and then they said, that's it, no more. We're going to drown. We don't want to drown our daughter. That's horrible. And they just said, that's it, we can't do it. You're not going to be able to learn. And I was bummed about that, right? But not at that time. So fast forward 30 years later, I have a few friends, or a couple of friends who have a boat, and it's David Bruner and Mauricio, his partner Mauricio Lopez, and Mauricio used to be a water ski instructor. Oh, you two know these two, right? And so I'm like, okay, we go out and they're skiing, and these guys are really good. And I'm thinking, oh man, I'm getting nervous, and I don't want to say what happened before, and I just want to get out there and ski and be cool like them. And so we get out. So I try it, and I don't go underwater. Somehow I had learned to let go of the rope. Just adult, I guess. It's what happens. You get smarter. So I let go of the rope, and I was like, dang it, I was so close. And then they come around, and I try again. And what was happening was, as soon as I would feel the pull, I would kind of try to pull myself up, right? Try to pull myself up. And it didn't work, because then I'd go, bam, like that. And then it was just like, man, why isn't this working? So they picked me up, and then they put me in the back part of the boat, and they say, we're going to teach you how to do this. And so here's what's going to happen. You're going to get into position, which is like you're sitting in the water, and you've got the rope out here, and your skis are going to be sticking up. You're kind of sitting there with your knees bent a little bit, skis sticking up, and then you're holding on to the rope. The boat's going to take off, slow at first, and then it's going to really get going. And when you feel the power of the boat, you keep staying in position and let the boat do the work. So I got the God bumps again. Stay in position and let the boat do the work. And then he actually did a little demo for me with pulling me up, right? And so he got down, and then I was holding on, and then he backed up, and then slowly I popped up, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And what a spiritual lesson this is, right? And so, all right, a couple more went, and then I decided it was my turn again, and I got out there, got into position, perfect position. I'm ready, and I'm kind of like, well, we'll see if this is going to work, right? We'll see. And I get into position, and the boat starts to go, and I felt that point where I would want to get up to try to raise myself up, and I didn't do that, but I let the boat pull me up, and we're going a little bit, and then all of a sudden I just popped right up. It was so awesome. Wow. Get into position and let the boat do the work, right? What does this have to do with giving and receiving? Abundance, right? What does this have to do with that? Getting into receptive posture, whatever that means for us, right? I mean, you're not going to be in a receptive posture by getting in that water ski position, unless you are. I mean, everyone has their own thing, right? But it doesn't mean you have to sit in that particular way. But it does mean you've got to prepare your mind, your belief system, your life, your thoughts. Prepare yourselves to receive the best that life has to offer because you are deserving, right? And so how do we prepare for that? Well, we change our thinking and we change our lives. I am deserving. I am open to receiving. I am receptive. I am coachable. I am teachable. I am this and that, and I'm a mighty money magnet and all the good, right? Are you with me? Yeah. Okay, good. So there is a mental aspect and a physical aspect for this, right? And so the same was true with water skiing. Get into position, let the boat do the work. It's a mental thing. I've got to remember that. Now, they didn't teach me that when I was a kid. Get into position and let the boat do the work. That's like such an amazing key that unlocked that whole thing, you know. I learned that day how to water ski. Wow. So we can learn here today how to be receptive. And the intention is that we leave here with the mindset of being open and receptive to our good because we are deserving, because we are giving, and we already give from the overflow. Are you with me on that? All right. So I love what Michael Beckwith says about getting into the receptive posture, both mentally and physically. And if you think about it, if I'm trying to hand you something and your fists are closed, how are you going to receive it, right? If I try to give you something and your hands are closed, you cannot receive it. And so the same is true if I'm trying to teach you something and your mind is closed, you cannot receive it. As the legendary Ice Cube would say, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Remember that? Chickadee check yourself before you rickety wreck yourself. You got to take a step back and reconsider your actions before you get yourself into trouble. Be coachable. Am I receptive to my good? Are you receptive to your good? Are you? All right. Am I ready to receive? Yeah, there we go. So if we want to change our actions, we've got to change our minds. And as we right our thinking, we become receptive to our good. Now, the next lesson I have from water skiing is about focusing on where you're going. Focus on where you're going, right? And so this was another thing these guys did so well. Like not only were they able to get up on their water skis and do the slalom skiing, but I would see them go all the way to the left side of the delta and then all the way to the right. And I was like, well, aren't they fancy? How do they do that, right? And then I'm again thinking, I've got to make this happen. I got to go push that way. Are there any water skiers here? Oh, okay, yes, there's quite a few. So you know the drill, right? And so I'm thinking I've got to make something happen. But they said, look, if you want to go to the left, look to the left. What? It's that easy? Is it really that easy? Yes. If you want to go right, look to the right. But you've got to keep looking in that direction. Ooh, isn't that a good one too? You got to keep looking in that direction. If you want to be abundant and experience prosperity in your life, look in that direction, whatever that means to you. If you want to experience more love in your life, look in that direction. If you want to experience more joy in your life, look in that direction. If you want to experience more health in your life, great physical well-being, vitality, great energy, look in that direction, whatever that means to you, right? And so I tried this water skiing thing. I'm like, okay, let's see if it works again. And so at first, there I am out there, okay, I'm up, yippee, and now I'm gonna go to the left. So I'm like, okay, do I have to go like that? No, I just literally had to go turn my head in the slightest direction left and keep looking that way. So I remember trying it, and then I'd come back, and I'd try it, and I'd come back, and it didn't work. And then I said, okay, so I'll just look over here, and it takes a little bit, takes a little bit, takes a little bit, and then next thing I know, shoom, I'm way over on the left. I'm like, whoa, this is fun. This is fun. Wow, now I got to go back over there. And so I looked to the right, and, I was like, come on. And then zoom over to the right. I was like, well, now I'm a professional. This is awesome. This is so easy. And again, so I'm in ministerial school when I'm learning this, right? And so it is just a powerful tool for us and our spiritual awakening, right? Look where you want to go and keep looking in that direction. Now, I talked last week about how if you want to feel and experience wealth, don't study its opposite. You don't need to study the opposite in order to experience the good that you desire in your life. Look where you want to go. All right, so we've got get into position, let God do the work, and look where you want to go. Now, so that there's action, which is I want to go to the left, right? I wanted to go to the left, and then the thought was look where I want to go and keep looking that way. My action is then look at the left and stay looking at the left. Keep looking that way. My desire was to go to the left. My action of looking to the left and keep looking to the left supplemented the thought of looking where I wanted to go, and my desire to be to the left was fulfilled. Is that mathematic enough for you? Right? There you go. Look where you want to go. Keep looking, and you will go in that direction. Try this at home, my friends. It is amazing. And so, I remember feeling like, wow, I just got the keys to the kingdom here. I just got these keys to the kingdom, because how often was I going to a book or being in prayer and then being in the moment of feeling and sensing and knowing the nature of my being, which was abundance and that it was already here. But then as soon as I left the comfort of that, either prayer or meditation or reading or whatever, or the Sunday service, then I was out like, oh, what am I going to do? My mind was totally on the other thing. But look where I'm going and keep looking. Well, that had me continue to explore and investigate and learn more about this good that I was desiring to experience in my life. And so I love what Ernest Holmes says about how the sun may be shining even while we persist in standing in a dark basement. Powerful. The sun may still be shining. The manna may be falling, but we refuse to gather it. Now we must come out of our basement of despair and into the sunshine of truth, into the warmth and the color of the divine recognition with an instantaneous awareness of the allness of good. It's time, right? It's time. And so there comes to each one of us the logical and exact result of our own receptivity. So how big is your container? How receptive are you? Are you approaching the altar of God with a thimble? Or are you approaching the altar of God with a huge slip loaded with giant cargo containers? like that one that got stuck in the canal, right? That thing was huge. Is that what you're approaching the altar of God with? Or are you approaching it with a thimble? Whatever that means to you, right? You'll understand it. The thing within you understands it. So how receptive of the truth are you? Do you know, understand, accept, believe, recognize, and embody that there is a divine presence, power, and law responding to your word? All right. Please repeat after me. I know, and I know that I know. I believe, and I am conscious that I believe. I am confident of the power of my own word. And have implicit reliance upon the truth. I expect the truth to operate. Now speak your truth into existence aloud. Whatever it is for each of you, health, wealth, wholeness, speak it right now. All right. Yes. Yes. All right, and now for a little something for the science guys here. So I love, when I think about giving and receiving, I think about photosynthesis in plants, right? Now, to perform photosynthesis, plants need 3 things: carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight. Now, plants take in water through the roots and carbon dioxide from the air and light energy from the sun. Plants can perform photosynthesis with those to make glucose, the sugars that are needed to grow the plant, and then they store some for later, and they also create oxygen. So they are receiving, 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 and giving. Receive, 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 give. Not give, 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 receive. Receive, 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 give. I like that. That is a great mantra, right? Receive, 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 give. Receive, 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 give. Beautiful. Yes. So, wow. That sounded really good, you guys. So if you're receiving, or if you're not receiving, you want to begin to give generously, give of yourself, give love, peace, joy, harmony, time, talent, attention, money, if you're able, a little bit, a lot, whatever works for you, right? This is your experience. This is your individual, unique experience here on this planet. And when we begin to ask ourselves, what are the gifts that I bring? What can I offer here? How can I be a beneficial presence to my community, workplace, relationships, and the world? Then we start to move from serving us to service, right? Selfless service, seva, and we're ready to actually receive the gifts of giving. So giving and receiving, it's two. They're two. Well, they're not two. They're 2 words, right? Giving and receiving, but they're tied together. So you cannot give and not receive, just like you cannot just receive. You want to also give. Now, the reason I said receive, 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 give is because part of that receiving is filling our own cup, right? Self-care, 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 yes? We've got to have our own self-care. And then if we feel that we're on this path and we're not growing, then maybe we're not in the right environment for growth. In other words, somehow we're not putting ourselves in the sunlight of the Spirit, which is part of that receiving, receive, 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 give, right? Think of the plant and the photosynthesis. Without the sunlight, it can't do it. It needs that. That's the third part, right? And so we want to release whatever it is that is hindering or blocking us from experiencing that sunlight of the Spirit. And we can do so by contacting each other, picking up a book. We can do our prayer, our meditation, our spiritual education. We can listen to music. We can dance. We can sing. We can call a practitioner. We can come here on a Sunday and get filled up and inspired. We can talk to the practitioner of the day after the service and get prayer. There's no big or small prayer, right? Like whether you are experiencing turmoil or tragedy in your life, or you simply want to experience greater good, get the prayer. It's powerful. It's awesome. And there is nothing to feel guilty about for wanting to experience greater good in your lives. Who's with me on that? Can I get an amen? Yeah. So I did have another story. Actually, I love this story about a terrible storm that came into town. And local officials sent out an emergency warning that the riverbanks were soon going to overflow and flood the nearby homes. Oh my goodness. So they ordered everyone in the town to evacuate immediately. You've got to get out. A faithful man heard the warning and decided to stay, saying to himself, I trust God, and if I am in danger, then God will send a divine miracle to save me. The neighbors came by his house and said to him, hey, we're leaving. There's room in our car. Please come with us. Come with us. But the man declined. I have faith that God will save me. Well, the man stood on his porch watching the water rise up to the steps, and a man in a canoe paddled by and called to him and said, hurry, get into my canoe. Come on, the waters are rising quickly. The man again said, no thanks, God will save me. The floodwaters rose higher, pouring water into his living room, and the man had to retreat to the second floor. A police motorboat came by and saw him at the window. We will come up and rescue you, they shouted. But the man refused, waving him off. Use your time to save someone else. God will save me. The floodwaters rose higher and higher, and the man had to climb up to his rooftop. A helicopter spotted him, dropped a ladder, and a rescue officer came down the ladder and pleaded with the man, grab my hand and I will pull you up. But the man folded his arms and said, no, thank you. God will save me. Well, the man is now pleading with God and said, I put all of my faith in you, God. Why didn't you come and save me? And God said, I sent you a warning. I sent you a car. I sent you a canoe. I sent you a motorboat. I sent you a helicopter. What more were you looking for? Get your thinking right. Get your thinking right about spirit. If there is a hidden unconscious belief that God is some big daddy in the sky that's going to come down with its mighty hand and save you, then that's going to cause some problems for you in your life. Because that's not going to happen. God may come in the form of a canoe, a motorboat, a helicopter, right? But we've got to let go of what we think, how we think it should look. It could be a motorboat, a canoe, a helicopter, a neighbor in a car, whatever, right? So being open and coachable and receptive to our good is so powerful. And now, one last story. So there's a 2008 film called The Yes Man, starring Jim Carrey. Everyone's familiar with this movie, yes? Yes? Oh, I love this movie. If you haven't seen it, you've got to see it. But Carl is the main character of the film, and he is stuck in a rut with his negativity. Now, the operative word for him in his life is no. He goes to this self-help seminar and learns to unleash the power of yes. And this leads to an amazing and transforming experience for him. He gets a job promotion, a new romance, and so much more. And at the beginning of the movie, it really illustrates the importance of saying yes and how we shut down when we say no. So he's in the video store like Blockbuster back in the day. Remember Blockbuster? Oh my goodness. So he's in this video store and the phone rings and it says caller unknown, and he says, nope. No. Phone rings again. He looks at it. No means no, he says. And then the phone rings yet again, and he answers it in a deep voice. He says, bonjour. And his friend says, Carl, I know it's you. And he goes, oh, hey, man, I was just about to call you. Had the number dialed, and I was just going to press send. Did you block your number? And he goes, yeah, I did. You never answer the phone when I don't. And his friend says, so what are you doing? Carl says, oh, I'm just hanging out in my apartment. And his friend says, well, you did get my text, right? What? Text? What? He says, yeah, we're all going out tonight. Oh, man, that sounds great. I wish I could join you. I'm just so jammed up. I mean, I'm totally off the grid. You know what I mean? And he's like, no, I don't. I don't know what you mean. Oh, I've got a bunch of stuff going on. Gosh, darn it, bummer. A bunch of stuff? Like what? Oh, just a thing. What thing? Oh, I can't tell you. It's a thing on my calendar, you know. No, I don't think there's anything written down in your fake calendar, Carl. And he says, oh, yes, there are things, specific things. Oh, like standing in line at the video store? What? I'm not in line at the video store. I'm at my apartment. And then the camera goes over to his friend who's standing outside. He says, I can see you standing in line, Carl. I'm right outside the video store. And he's like, oh, great, you know. But all of that effort that he put into being a no, doesn't want to be bothered, yet is upset that his life doesn't work in the way that he would like it to. So our homework for this week is going to practice saying yes. Say yes. Yes. We're going to say yes this week as we remember, and I'm going to invite Jimmy and the band to come up and get ready and remember this week that giving is as important as receiving. And we can get into our receptive posture with our prayer, our meditation, our affirmations, our spiritual study, and so forth. And just like the water skiing, get into position and let God do the work. That means get yourself into the mental position of receptivity and let the universe do the work. Look where you want to go and keep looking that way. And then say yes. And so let's take a breath together. Yeah. And join me in turning our attention inward. And we return in this moment to that place within, which is the place where I remember that spirit truly is all that there is. It is all that there ever was, and it is all that there ever will be. And in this presence of love, I know that my life is a gift, and the life of each individual here is a gift. Like we are attending a celebration, and we are each the guests of honor. We are not in a dress rehearsal. This is the life that we came here to live, and we are meant to shine and be glorious, to radiate our good and experience everything we wish to have for ourselves and our lives, and we can. And we can as we get our thinking lined up with Spirit. As we get into that receptive posture, we allow ourselves to receive the good that Spirit is offering in our lives in whatever way that might be, whether it's a boat, a motorboat, a canoe, a car, a helicopter, any of it. We are receptive to it and open. And as we remain open to possibility, we are given the keys to the kingdom. We are given the keys to this infinite realm of potentiality, unlimited possibility where everything can happen, anything can happen, and everything we want for ourselves in our lives does happen. And so going forward from here this week, we practice saying yes. And we look in the direction we want to go, and we keep looking in that direction. And we may find ourselves being pulled in the other direction, and when we do, we wrestle our mental atmosphere, we wrestle our thoughts away and focus them in the direction that we want to go. And as we are in this receptive posture, as we have prepared ourselves to believe, accept, receive, we declare and decree what it is we want to experience for ourselves and our lives, and the word is made manifest. It's just the way it is. This is the law. It works. It always works. And I am grateful for it working in each one of our lives right here, right now, today. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. I am so grateful for this good being revealed in my life. I'm so grateful for the good being revealed into the lives of each individual here. I'm grateful for all that we've already seen and received in our lives and for the invisible blessings on their way. Oh, they are so good, and it is a magnificent day. I release this prayer now, knowing it is so, to the divine manufacturing plant where the product is returned exactly in the most perfect way. And so it is. Yes. Thank you.
On a clear day, rise and look around you. You'll see who you are.
On a clear day, how it will astound you that the glow of your being outshines every star you feel part of, every mountain, shore, and sea.
You can hear both far and near, a world you've never heard before.
On that clear day,
Yes, on a clear day, where you can see forever and ever more.
On a clear day, how it will astound you that the glow of your being outshines every star you feel part of, every mountain, sea, and shore.
You can hear both far and near, a world you've never heard before.
On that clear day,
On that clear day, you can see forever
Well, thank you so much. I would like to invite the ushers to now please come forward. And while they're doing so, I would like to invite everyone who, if you were inspired in any way today by this talk, we invite you to consider making a donation. And if you have that with you, you can place that over your heart now. And if you're on Zoom, you can make your donation via PayPal. You can go to I don't know if we have a moderator today. We do not. So you can go to our website, and I don't know the exact. Do you know the link there?
It's on the front page, but we have ways you can read on that.
Thank you. All right. So let's see. Now we have our gifts, placing them over our hearts. Please repeat or say together, divine love through me. Blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Joyously I give, and joyfully I receive. And so it is. Thank you. And then you
Divine love flows through me, blessing all I give. Divine love flows through me, blessing all I give. Divine love flows through me, blessing all I give. Divine love flows through me, blessing all I give. Divine love flows through me, blessing all I give.
We bless these gifts. We know that they are used and received and joyfully accepted with open hands and an open heart. We receive, 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 so we can give right back to all of our community, extended, close by. And the blessings go on and on. On this clear day, we can give forever. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you. All right. So I believe that Sonia is not here today. So we'll go right to announcements, yes? And that's Susan. And there you go.
Green light's on. Oh. Whoop. Hello. Okay, I have a bunch of announcements, so let's get started. First of all, I want to remind everyone that we have a midweek spiritual check-in on Wednesdays, and it is from 1 to 2 p.m., and it's on Zoom. We'll send out a little email on Tuesday. Join in. It is a wonderful experience. It really is. And we'll be talking about the different things that we've experienced from this talk today and from this week of abundance. Also, on Sunday, November 21st, we are going to be having a potluck that is called Love's Table. Yay! So we will have this room, we'll have this wall gone, and we'll have all these tables. It's a wonderful experience, and it's a free-flowing potluck, so you can bring the thing that you enjoy making. We're going to have a sign-up sheet starting next Sunday. Speaking of next Sunday, we're going to be pulling the winning ticket for the Ragged Point fundraiser this coming Sunday. which is Halloween. And so you have a week left to buy that winning ticket, because we do not know if the winning ticket is in that little bucket yet. So do that. You can do it online on our website, or you can do it here after the gathering over at the table there. You can buy your tickets. It's $10 for one ticket, or if you spend $100, you get 13 tickets. So on Halloween next Sunday, our wonderful minister, Reverend Elizabeth, has suggested that Halloween costumes are encouraged. Woohoo! So picture that you're getting dressed, ready to go to church, and you're putting on your Halloween costumes. So costumes are welcome. Don't feel like you're going to be out of place, because there will be costumes here. Pardon me? Oh, prizes. I don't think so. Unless someone wants to start that. Someone could start that trend. I wanted to give you a quick update on our beloved Audrey Hooper, who it looks as though she will be released to go home on Tuesday. Yay! She's doing so well, and the best therapist ever is waiting for her, and that is her dog, Archie. He will be there to help the healing process. So if you have a card for Audrey, send them to our office, and then we will gather all the cards together and get them to Audrey. Also wanted to remind everyone that we are still looking for tech team volunteers. Woo! And so that would be for audio or visual. And I just want to say, don't be scared of that word tech. Okay, we're not asking you to code or write any programs or create a website. We're just asking for some really basic stuff. So see Travis after the gathering if you would like to volunteer for that. Take a breath here. So today we're celebrating the 50th birthday of our beloved minister, Reverend Elizabeth. And so we have cupcakes to celebrate. And I just want to say something. I don't know how many of you guys follow Reverend Elizabeth on Facebook, but if you're not, you should. This one here created a fundraiser for her birthday to benefit Awakening Ways. That makes me a little bit choked up because it's a very selfless, beautiful gesture. And this morning when I checked, there was $555. And so that fundraiser is still happening. Go on Facebook, find it. You can put in $1, you can put in $500, whatever you want to do. It's going to Awakening Ways, which is just so sweet. And just one last little note about Reverend Elizabeth's Facebook. So I have had in the past 2 things that I rely on every day. One is the Daily Word. The other one is 365 Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. Well, now I have a third. And that is Reverend Elizabeth's Facebook. Every single day she posts something wonderful, beautiful, inspiring, joyful. So check it out. Even if you don't really like Facebook, you can just look at that one thing. Or you can also look at the Divine Flow of Abundance. There's 2 things. Well, of course, Awakening Ways. Kristen is our maestro of that. Okay, I believe that is the announcement.
Awesome. All right, let's circle up. Circle up. Oh, I'm not going to hold hands just yet. It's a pretty good circle, huh? What? YMCA? We're not doing YMCA today. All right, friends, won't you know with me that you are never alone, that God is where you are right now and always. And all that we ever need do is to turn within. And it is here we will find we are guided, sustained, directed, and inspired by a source that knows only good. Joyously let us make use of these gifts in all that we think, in all that we say, and in all that we do. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening as me right now. Something wonderful is happening as me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in my pocketbook. Life is in my relationships. Life is everywhere. I think it. I feel it. I believe it. I accept it.
I accept it.
I express it.
I express it.
And then I accept it.
And then I accept it.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
And just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Woo! All right.
May I be filled with love and kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May you be filled with love and kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May we be filled with love and kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy.
On a clear day, rise and shine and look around you, and you'll see who you are.
On a clear day, how it will astound you that the glow of your being outshines every star. You'll be part of every mountain, sea, and shore.
And you'll hear both far and near a world you've never heard before.
On that clear day,
Yeah, on that clear day,
you can see forever and ever and ever
more.
look at me.
Scuba doo wah.